with you. I can be sad with you.
In this lesson, we will discuss on the acid-base character of oxides of elements in period 3. Across period 3 from sodium to argon, we have sodium, magnesium and aluminium as metals, silicon as metalloids, which means having half properties of metal and non-metal, and also we have phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine and argon as non-metals. So for these elements in period 3, by reacting them by oxygen, we will get oxide. Oxygen can react with other element to form compound that is oxide. Across period 3, metallic character decreases as the ionization energy increases. So moving from sodium to chlorine in period 3, sodium is metal, chlorine is non-metal. So from sodium to chlorine, the metallic character will be decreases. Tendency of elements from sodium to chlorine to remove the electron will be decreases as well. So more energy must be required to remove the electron from sodium to chlorine. So hence the ionization energy will be increases. So from sodium to chlorine, which is across period 3, the oxides will become more acidic. In period 3, metals that are sodium and magnesium will react with oxygen to form basic oxides. Non-metals, including the silicon, will form acidic oxides. So what are the non-metal? We have silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, and chlorine. So these non-metals and metalloids will react with oxygen to form acidic oxides. Meanwhile, aluminium, which is the metal, will react with oxygen to form amphoteric oxides. Basic oxides is ionic compounds. Amphoteric oxides also ionic compound, but acidic oxides, they exist in the form of molecule. So they will known as molecular covalent compounds. Basic oxides has properties high melting and boiling point. Acidic oxides will has low melting points, and the reaction of basic oxides with acid will form salt. So this is actually one of the neutralization reaction. Okay, neutralization of oxides. So basic oxides can react with acid in neutralization of the oxide to form salt, garam. And for acidic oxides, it can react with base. Also the same reaction like what we did in the basic oxides. Acid can react with base to form salt also. Okay, this is one of the example untuk neutralization of oxide as well. And for amphoteric oxides, since it has both properties of acidic and basic oxides, so hence it can react with both acid and base. Meanwhile, for the basic oxides, it can react with acidic solution only. Okay, it cannot react with the basic solution. Acidic oxides can react with base, but it cannot react with acid because it is already an acid. Okay, and for amphoteric oxides, since it has two behaviors, acidic and basic oxides, so it can react with acid and base. Sodium oxide and magnesium oxide are the example of basic oxides. So these oxides can react with acid to form salt and water. Why it can react with acid? Because it is a base. So base can react with acid. So this is actually the neutralization of oxide. So this will be the chemical equation. You will get salt and water as the product. And sodium oxide is an alkali because it dissolves readily in water to form alkaline solution. In this case, this refers to the hydrolysis of oxide. So this will be the reaction. Sodium oxide dissolves in water to form alkaline solution. So you can see from here, there is production of sodium hydroxide, aqueous. Aluminium oxide is the amphoteric oxide, and it can act as both acidic and basic oxides. So, when this oxide behaves as an acid, it is when we react this oxide with base. So, a reaction between base with this amphoteric oxide, so this oxide will behave as an acidic oxide. Bila kita reactkan this oxide dengan base, maka it will behave as an acidic oxide to get this equation. So we can see that this is actually the neutralization reaction. And then reaction between this oxide and acid. So in this case, this oxide will behave as basic oxides in order to have another neutralization reaction. So bila kita react dalam keadaan berbase, this oxide akan behave as an acidic oxide, and reaction with acid, this oxide akan behave sebagai basic oxides, and this will be the reaction. So from this reaction, you can see water will be produced as the product, dan juga garam over here, salt. Lastly is the acidic oxides. So this oxides is formed from the reaction between silicon and other nonmetals with oxygen, and these are the examples of the acidic oxides. So from all these oxides, silicon oxide exists as giant covalent molecule. Meanwhile, all these oxides exist as simple covalent molecules. So there's a huge difference over here. Giant means that the structure of this oxide is huge, very huge. Meanwhile, for this oxide, they exist in a simple molecule, okay, small molecules. For acidic oxides, they can dissolve in water to form acids. So this is the hydration reaction, hydration of oxides. But silicon oxides is insoluble in water. Dia tak larut dalam air seperti mana oxides yang lain. But it can dissolve in hot concentrated sodium hydroxide to form salt and water. So again, you can see from here, this is actually the neutralization reaction. So here, only silicon oxide can react with base to form salt and water. Okay, this is neutralization of oxide, and this is hydration of oxide. To summarize what we have learned just now, so here we have two oxides here as basic oxides, this aluminium oxide as amphoteric oxides, and the other four as acidic oxides. So the reaction between sodium hydroxide with these two oxides menunjukkan no reaction. Why? Because sodium hydroxide is a base. So base cannot react with base. So that's why we will see no reaction between these two with base. Meanwhile, for the other of this oxide here, there will be reaction between them and base. Okay, kenapa? Because they are acidic oxides. They have acidic properties. Acid can react with base. So hence you will get this reaction. And also for the amphoteric oxides, since it has both properties of acidic and basic oxides. So again, this one also can react with a base. Okay, so yang mana satu yang akan react dengan base? Its acidic properties. These two oxides are basic oxides. So basic oxides can react with HCl. So HCl itu apa? HCl adalah acid. Okay, so acid can react with a base definitely. So that's why you akan nampak ada reaction untuk basic oxides when we mix with acid. And then for amphoteric oxide, so this oxide also can react with HCl acid. Kenapa? Because in amphoteric oxide, it can behave as acidic or basic oxide. So in this case, amphoteric oxide will behave as basic oxide. Okay, to make it possible for this one to react with acid. So basic, base dengan acid baru boleh berlaku reaction. So ini pun salah satu contoh untuk neutralization reaction. But for the other oxides, since they are acidic oxides, acid cannot react with acid. Okay, acid tak boleh react dengan acid. So there will be no reactions over here. And then, we can also react these basic oxides with water. So this is called hydrolysis reaction. So hydrolysis of basic oxides with water, we will get the product that is alkaline solution. Why alkaline solution? You can see from the product itself. And then reaction between acidic oxide with water, also we will see another hydrolysis reaction. In this case, it will produce acidic solution. So acidic oxides will dissolve in water to form acids. The other two oxides here, iaitu aluminium oxide and silicon oxide, they are insoluble in water. So we will see no reaction between these two with water.
With you, I can be sad with you. Just take my hand and fly.